Hey everybody, I'm the Dr. Bob Lee from 107.5 WBLS. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Welcome to Open. Coming up on today's show, we'll speak to a local graffiti artist who is no stranger to the show. She'll talk about everything everything under the sun, everything that she's been up to all year round, highlight some of the things that she has coming up. And then we'll speak to the executive director and board member of a Brooklyn-based organization that is supporting the next generation in a great way. Plus, we'll shed some light on everything that a Brooklyn native photographer is doing with his latest exhibition project. And finally, we'll hear from a filmmaker and producer who will speak about his passion for filmmaking and photography too, and highlight his latest work. So sit back, kick off your shoes, and relax your feet. Here we go. We're wide open. There you go. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I'm your host, Dr. Bob Lee, and you're watching Open. It's that live interactive program that brings the Bronx, New York City, straight to your TV set. You can stay connected to us through social media at BronxNet TV. Leading things off, our first guest is a local artist and an old friend of the show. She joins us to speak about how her recent projects went this year, what she's gotten involved in, including, well, her recent 50th anniversary of the Hip Hop Art Gallery. She'll share her latest work with us, as well as so much more. So please welcome to the show, Olga Correa. Olga, welcome.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for inviting me back.
How are
Great
you?
to be.
You've been on the show a couple of times before, and you always show some wonderful things and share that with our audience. And they even had the opportunity to go online and check out some of the stuff and maybe purchase some of it, right?
Absolutely.
So
Yes, thank you.
give us a little background on you so we can just warm up the audience a little bit.
Sure. My name is Olga Correa. I'm from the Bronx, the South Bronx. Um, I graduated from art and design. I graduated from FIT. I worked as a fashion designer for 15 years, various companies. Um, I started working for the city, just to get my benefits on, when it comes to working in the arts, you really don't get the opportunity to have health care,
Yeah.
which is important. Um, Swinging back to art, um, I just started with a solo show with
Uh-huh.
Blanca at Triple A3A in 2019, and I haven't stopped since.
Uh-huh. Now, listen, the last time we spoke, I think you were doing something in London, across
London.
the
Yes.
pond. It was a big
Yes.
event over there. How did that turn out? Well, how was that
Oh my
experience?
God, it was wonderful. It was in January of
Uh-huh.
this year with Mark Gary, and the gallery is Leek Street London Gallery.
Yeah.
Wonderful. Oh, a lineup of all women. It was amazing. You could purchase anything viral because I didn't ship my stuff out there.
Uh-huh.
And I also had the opportunity, well, I was offered the opportunity to do a mural at the Arch. But unfortunately, I had prior engagement in August in the
Yeah.
Bronx, and it'll lead me to the next phase that I have multiple murals that I created this just in the last 6 months. It's incredible.
Wow. You were busy, huh? I don't understand.
Very
How did you do the show and you weren't able to bring, well, you were able to, but you didn't bring any of your stuff across the pond?
right because there was so many of us. I think it was
Uh-huh.
maybe like 20 women.
Yeah.
It was just cost efficient. It wouldn't have worked.
Yeah.
So virally, you could have gone onto the website and you could actually manipulate
Oh, okay.
and
I
and
got you.
and yeah, and zoom in. It was amazing.
Uh-huh.
And then if we would have purchased it, then that's when we would have shipped it out.
Yeah. And then you came back and you were involved in the New York Public Library for hip hop's 50th
Right.
anniversary.
Yes, it was amazing. The main branch in Bryant Park.
Uh-huh.
It was the 50th anniversary of hip hop, and it was a grand scale. So I had a huge canvas, and I created a train. And instead of the MTA logo, I had the New York Public Library logo. I had even everyone that was on the guest to come tag on it. I had children. It was an interactive type of show.
Yeah.
And while they had speakers, it was just ongoing, but it was amazing. I was starstruck too, like all the people that were on board.
Yeah. I'm glad you got it in there before they cut the budget to the New York
Yeah,
Public Library's
I know.
budget. Um, but it was called the Wrap Up Gallery Showcase, right?
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah. And you enjoyed that? Everybody else enjoyed it? Did you sell a lot?
Everyone enjoyed it. Yes. Great speakers. I mean, April Walker from um from her clothing line to just all the hip hop legends. Oh my God. It's a list full. I mean, you can Google it and you'll see. Just so many people. But it was so much fun. It was
Yeah.
so much.
You're involved in so many wonderful communities. Are you still involved in the Harlem community? You have something
Yes.
called the Grandstand Mural Project. Talk about that.
Right. I just finished that last month.
Oh,
Um
she's busy.
I just finished that last month.
Uh,
Um, I was invited. I sent my application, my bio, and they were like, "Oh, we follow you." They were like,
uh,
"Absolutely, come by." So that was so much fun too, because I have fellow friends that were doing murals all over as well. That was my first time painting in Harlem, which was kind of awesome. I'm kind of trying to get my checklist off of all the boroughs.
yeah,
Um, so that was fun. I kind of kept it musical, of course, with my character, and that was amazing too.
yeah. Well, you're moving. What is this right here that we're looking at?
That was an article that they wrote about different people that actually participated in the 125th. I'm between 125th Park and Madison.
Ah,
You'll see my
yeah.
piece.
Look at that. Got to go up there and check that out. I know her. I know the
Yes,
person who did that
absolutely.
mural.
Yeah, people take pictures and then tag me. Please do.
Yeah.
And that way I'll repost it. Please
Okay.
do.
What's the address
I
to that
love
one
that.
again? We'll have
What was
everybody go
that?
up and take pictures.
Yeah, it's 125th between Madison and Park.
Hmm. And then you got the other one up in the Bronx. What's it called? The Bronxlandia,
Ooh,
the Women's Graffiti Festival coming up.
right, Bronxlandia.
This woman is busy.
Ma- Majora, she actually owns the Boogie Down Grind
Uh huh.
coffee shop,
The Boogie
and she
Down
also
Grind.
right. So she
That's a
also
good name for a
purchased
coffee shop, right? The Boogie Down
the Boogie
Grind.
Down Grind. It's
And
amazing
grind,
coffee
come in and
shop.
grind your
Please, you
beans.
guys gotta go there. They have an
Uh huh.
outside dining that is shaped like a train,
Oh wow.
and we used to do events and have like Brooklyn come by and tag up the train, and we do events with music and food and just everything. So she purchased Branxlandia, which is an old train station. It used to be the Metro North to Hunts Point.
Oh yeah.
So it's a beautiful landmark. You should go in. There's huge. So it's an all-purpose type of place. You could do videos. Montana just did a video there.
Uh huh.
You can do photography. You can have a party there. So she was like, before they really renovate it, I need you like to do murals everywhere, make it pretty.
Yeah.
So that's how I got involved with
You
that.
hooked it up, huh? Now wait a minute. They have the old train there, and you can put a canvas on it and
Well,
do your
it used to
graffiti.
be
You
a
can.
train station.
Yeah.
No, it was a train station. So you would go down. If you look through the window of Bronxlandia, you can see the track is still there. They just
Yeah.
took the steps out. So it's an amazing piece. I mean,
Yeah.
I mean the ceilings are so huge. It's a beautiful
So,
place.
but they let people go in and you can tag it. You can put your
No, no,
tag on it.
no. What happened was she purchased it, and what we did, because it's not renovated.
Okay.
We painted all the stuff that just looks terrible. So we did murals.
Yeah.
So when you go in, just the whole walls are done in murals.
Is the
And I
food
did the
good?
outside.
How's the food?
Well, the food they don't have food there. It comes from Boogie Down Grind.
Oh, got it, got it. Okay.
The same owners.
Yeah, I got it. I hear you. Good. What's the address to that one again?
That one is, I think, 910 Hunts Point. You can't
Oh,
miss it. As soon as you get off Hunts Point train station, you go under Bruckner Boulevard bridge, and you'll see it. You can't miss it. You see my face. It's a big
yeah.
blue face.
And then another fundraiser coming up. You're doing so many things. We're trying to keep up with you because I'm going to ask you at the end to give us your website because I know you're going to post all of that stuff up, right?
Right.
But there's a fundraiser
So
coming up.
Boom Avenue does their annual Boom Avenue walls,
Yeah.
which it's in the Bronx. It's just like blocks. I don't even know how many blocks of
Oh, I know where that
yeah.
is.
So I'm located. My piece is located there, Boom Avenue in Jennings,
Yeah.
and they have people from all over the world, not just local Bronx artists, do murals there, and so we had that event, and they took photograph of everyone's mural, and if you go to Wallworks Crash Gallery, we're doing a fundraising and we're
Yeah.
selling the photograph just for fundraising.
Yeah.
So you could also, if you want to purchase a shot of everyone's mural, including mine, it's Wallworks too.
Beautiful. And that's a place where everybody can come and do graffiti.
Right,
Is it
right. They
like
do
that
it
place?
once
It's
a
like
year.
that place in Long Island City. They tore the building down, but in Long Island City, they had a place where everybody was able to come.
Exactly, 5 points. You're
Five
talking about
points. Exactly. Yeah.
right. And also, Brooklyn has one, which is I was one of the first for Best Eye Wall.
Hmm.
So I have, and I also just painted after that one. I painted in East New York. I have a
Yeah.
piece in East New York.
So you
Yeah.
are a part of 50 years of hip hop.
Oh yeah, yeah. I
Yeah.
keep busy. This is my first weekend. I did nothing.
Wow. Did
I
you
enjoy it.
did you make a lot of money in different ways? Because money doesn't
Yes,
have to always come,
it's
in
therapy.
coins. Yes.
Yeah, the money is a plus, but the
The satisfaction and
interacting with
everything, the
people.
love.
Yeah, I just met this wonderful woman from Brazil. She was painting next to me,
Ah,
and we connected. And yeah, I'm gonna go out to Brazil, and that's my next year. I'm gonna go international. I'm gonna fly out and do walls. So I met a lot of people from all over the world, and that's my next goal.
there you go. That's beautiful. Olga, man, God bless you. You're
Thank
traveling,
you,
you're traveling, you're traveling, you're doing great
thank,
things, and you're a wonderful artist too. A lot of talent,
thank
a
you.
lot of great talent.
Appreciate that.
Where can we go to find out more and purchase some of your work?
Sure, you can actually go to Instagram. I hope everyone has Instagram. I'm in the process of still working on my website. It's Olga Correa Correa underscore art, and you could DM me.
Hmm.
I do commission work as well.
There you go. Can you do a big caricature of me like at Bronx
Of
Net?
you, of course. I could do your name too.
There you go. All right. Sounds good. Looking forward to it.
Okay,
Olga, thank you, and you're always welcome.
thank you.
How do you say my house is your house?
Mi casa es tu casa.
Mi casa tu casa on 107.5 and BronxNet. Thank you.
Thank you.
Olga
I
Correa,
appreciate.
graffiti artist, and she's got a lot of talent. Thank you for all you do, and we'll be
Thank you.
following you and
Appreciate.
looking you up, all right? Got to purchase some
Absolutely.
of our stuff, too. All right, we'll take a quick break right here. I've got more open. Don't move a muscle. Kick off your shoes and relax your feet. Here we go.
19.7% of Bronxites currently experience food insecurity. Meanwhile, instead of these nice, colorful foods, this is the best food that they have access to. If this sounds like you, there are a bunch of resources to get healthy food for free or cheap. If you want to help, you might consider donating or volunteering in one of these places. Community fridges like this one are all over the city and allow New Yorkers to conveniently donate extra food to people who might need it. Go to this link and find your nearest one. Food banks and pop-up events like these provide millions of healthy meals to families in need. These organizations are distributing meals to Bronxites as we speak, and are always accepting donations and volunteers.
And welcome back. Our next guests are Executive Director and a board member of the Brooklyn Kindergarten Society. And they're with us today to share some information about the New work kids at the BKS and what they're doing and how you can support. We all want to see if we can, people can gather in and support what you're doing. They got the future of our community right in their hands, so we need to get together and help them out. So please welcome to the show, Melisha Jackman and Caliz Diaz. Welcome.
Thank you. Thank you.
Now, I'm going to ask you later on how we can get together and support you, and I'm going to give you one of my cameras where you can look into it and say, hey, I need your help. Can you help a brother out? Can you help a sister out? All right, I'm going to give that to you later on.
Sounds good.
Right. Sounds good. Tell us a little bit about the program and how you guys came together.
Mm-hmm. Well, Brooklyn Kindergarten Society has been around for 130 years.
130 years.
More than 130
More
years.
than 130 years. So you're down by law and you know your way around.
And we have 7 early childhood centers in central Brooklyn in the neighborhoods of Brownsville, Crown Heights, and Bedford-Stuyvesant.
Yeah.
And our work is to provide care and education to Brooklyn's littlest learners, ages 2 to 5. To make sure they have the cognitive, emotional, social, and physical development so that they're ready for kindergarten. And I met Caliz first as a parent. Her child went to BKS, and Caliz later on became a board member, but Caliz has a really interesting story.
She said, you know what, I like it so much. Can I be a board member? Or go ahead.
So what's interesting, actually, one of the centers, the Tompkins Children's Center, is right across the street from my house. So actually, I had a few nieces go to the center when they were little. And then my daughter, Brooklyn, she started attending. And I really became involved. It was during COVID. And that was difficult for everyone in the entire world. And for me, my daughter has a history of asthma. And so I was very focused on sort of advocating for an air purification strategy in the center. I first thought in the classroom, and then I was like, no, she's not the only one that's going to need the assistance. And so I just started writing to open public hearings, in the city, and calling council members and the mayor, and writing to the mayor, the governor. And finally, with a lot of help,
now, right?
I was relentless. And so finally, a few months later, Mel called me to tell me that the Department of Health and Department of Ed donated 53 air purifiers to disperse around all 7 centers. I was in tears because it was just long nights just writing, just concerned, absolutely. So, with all that effort, we were in constant communication, and they asked me, like, you've done so much already and you're relentless, like, please join us as a board member. And it's been a pleasure. It's been a pleasure.
Caliz is an amazing advocate, and that's what we want for our families, to not only entrust us with their children, but to be partners in this work, to advocate, but also to tap other parents to know that they have voice and agency to do this work in partnership with us.
Yeah. So you're in constant communication with not only the elected officials, but the parents.
Well, yes. I mean, at the end of the day, our kids are our future. Period in the story. They are our leaders, so we want to make sure that we advocate and we create, a safe space for them to learn, a loving space. And my daughter is fruits of that, for sure.
Yeah. So she has graduated.
Yes, she's in 2nd grade now.
Look at that. Oh.
She's in 2nd grade and thriving beautifully. And again, it's BKS really set the foundation for her to grow and love and really enjoy and engage herself in her academics.
Of course, the foundation of your education is so very, very important. Give us the mission of BKS.
Our mission is to make sure that kids have an equal first step in their education. So we have a STEAM curriculum. So we focus on science, technology, engineering, art, and math. Really thoughtful about our centers. Our children are really grounded in other enrichments like tennis and violin and dance, so that they are prepared to enter kindergarten. So our work is really making sure kids have that strong foundation, but also we have extended hours. So we allow our families to be able to work and have free or very low cost childcare while they can then provide for their families, which is really important to our work. That's why we were established in the first place, to allow working moms and families the ability to entrust their child in a place where they can be nurtured and supported while they earn a living.
Yeah, I like it. And, you know, to do it for over 130 years, you got to be doing something right, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. How are you continuing to support high-quality early childhood programs in New York City?
Well, right now, I think so much thinking about COVID and some of the learning loss and or just the isolation that kids have come up through and the stress of COVID, we've been focusing a lot more on supporting kids with learning differences and making sure that all children have access and removing the barriers from learning. So we recently, last year actually, opened our sensory gym.
I was just going to ask you about that. Tell us about it.
So we have a sensory gym at our Weeksville Garden Center and an occupational therapist, and we provide holistic experiences. So basically kids get to play, but play in a structured way where they're working on tactile skills, communication, self-regulation, routines, transition, some of those skills that are essential as they enter kindergarten. And we do
How
that.
important is that?
So important, because sometimes notions of challenging behavior can come up, or a child may have a learning difference or maybe neurodivergent, and adults don't know what to do, and sometimes the next step is to other. And we bring families in and bring kids close to us. Like, no, we're going to work with your child. And kids do not necessarily have to have an IEP. We will work with any child. Once there's a recommendation from a family or a teacher, we do this in partnership. And we will work on those skills to make sure kids get that confidence and they get it through their play, and it's good for all kids. And I'm so proud of the sensory gym. So we're having a more inclusive environment for all of our kids.
Marion, we have to go over there and visit them, right? She doesn't have a microphone.
Yes.
That would be wonderful.
Who is this young lady, Marion Scott?
She is an amazing, amazing person. She has created so many opportunities and access. And I met Marion through Caliz.
Yes, she is my daughter's grandmother. So she's Brooklyn's grandmother.
Yeah. All right.
Yes.
You know, she works with a lot of wonderful people, especially in not only in childcare but in healthcare. And I've known her for a very long time. She's a very beautiful person. I love her. I love her a lot.
Yes.
So you're in good hands.
I'm gonna do a little plug. She got a Living Legend Award
All
a few
right.
months ago because of all the amazing work she's done in the
All right.
healthcare industry.
Yes.
So, yes.
Happy to have you associated with BKS. And she can cook.
Oh,
We're
yes.
gonna make the whole show about her. No.
That's your next guest.
Drumsticks and grits. No, but yes. Anything coming up that we should know about?
Absolutely. BKS, we are having our largest fundraiser, the Yuletide Ball, which supports our music and movement program, which includes tennis, violin, and dance, and our sensory gym on December 9th at the Heights Casino. We begin at 9 p.m. With light jazz, and then around 10:30 the DJ comes out. And it will be a night of fair, dancing, and a good time to raise critical funds to support these programs so our kids can have everything they need to be successful.
How would you like to begin raising funds right now?
That would be amazing.
All right. Say hello to my little friend. You can ask.
We would love for you to support Brooklyn Kindergarten's Yuletide Ball. You can visit us at www.bksny.org and tap that Yuletide button, and you're able to make a donation to support our cause.
All right, Caliz,
All
jump in there.
right. Yes, please come join us. Come ready to not only have a good time, but put your heart, your soul, And if you care to donate, some great donations to this amazing Brooklyn Kindergarten Society to help our future leaders.
Yeah, beautiful. And we'll look for that's December the 9th. And what's the location on that again?
The Heights Casino
The
in
Heights
Brooklyn Heights.
Casino.
In Brooklyn Heights.
There you go.
Yeah.
Beautiful. How can people get more involved in maybe enrolling their child
Yeah.
in BKS?
On our website, we have an apply feature, and folks where our locations are all listed. We encourage parents and caregivers to come on out to a center to take a tour, meet the staff, and feel the energy. But all of our information is on our website for our 7 locations across the borough of Brooklyn. And hands-on and a first-person interaction is the best way to go. You get to just feel the synergy and make that commitment.
And everything that you need to know is on your website, which is
www.bksny.org.
Melisha Jackman, Executive Director of Brooklyn Kindergarten Society, and Caliz Diaz, member BKS, board member, director, and former BKS parent, and Marion Scott, best friend of the organization. Rolling up her sleeves. Thank you guys so much.
Thank you
Thank
for
you for
having
having
us.
us.
All right, and
Thank
come back
you.
again, okay?
Will do.
And we got to pay you guys a visit also.
Yes. Looking forward to it.
Marion, she's been talking about you. She said, Bob, you got to get over there. We'll take a break. We're going to try to do that, okay? We'll take a quick break. I've got more open coming up next. Don't move a muscle. And welcome back. I'm the Doc, Bob Lee from 107.5 WBLS. You are watching Open. Thank you so much. Our next guest is a photographer, and he joins us to speak about his latest work and to highlight his passion for photography. So please welcome to the show, Malik Yusef Cumbo. Welcome, welcome, welcome.
Hey, how are you?
All right, Malik. So I heard that you have the eye. You have the eye for photography. So much needed when somebody wants to be a fantastic photographer. Tell us a little bit about yourself. How did you get started? How did you kick it off?
Thank you for having me. Honored to be here. My mom was a photojournalist, and she did a lot of work in music and stuff like that, and photo documentary, that type of thing. So I used to watch what she did all the time. She was best known for a book she did on Bob Marley and Peter Tosh.
Oh, yeah.
My mom's name is Melisha Cumbo.
Oh, yeah.
And yeah, so I grew up watching her, and then I at a young age, I started working for a local photographer named Larry Brown, and the bug just bit me, and I've been taking pictures ever since I was about 14, 15 years old.
You didn't take one of Mom's cameras, sneak it out, and say, "Hey, Mom, let me see what you've been working with."
Well, ironically, my father, he did early photography with insurance work.
Oh.
So he collected a lot of cameras, and if you come to my studio, you'll see tons of cameras around.
Wow.
You know, and he gave me my first camera, which was a Canon AE1, and I think I was about 15 years old, and then I took it to school, and I thought I was the big guy.
Wait a minute. Did you start off with the fashion type of thing, like taking pictures of pretty girls and stuff?
Uh, Believe it or not, no. Actually, I rode a skateboard. I was a skater.
Oh,
So
okay.
a lot of the stuff that I was taking pictures of actually were other skaters and other artists that I knew.
Yeah.
I grew up in sort of an artist community, so it was a lot of creatives that I was around, and I started, photographing them a lot, and then I started hanging out with a few people who knew a lot of musicians and so forth when I was about 16 or 17, and then I started photographing rappers and musicians and stuff like that.
Yeah, I saw Snoop
So,
in one of those pictures that you just took.
hmm
Yeah, I see
yeah,
Snoop in there.
that was for his uh, Murder Was the Case video film release that they did, and that was in New York City, and so I had to photograph the event.
Yeah, beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. So you've been doing this for some time now, and it's been in your blood. It's been in the family for a little while, and now you're into content creation. And
Yes.
yeah, how did
So,
you move into that particular area?
well, I kind of always, I built a studio here in Brooklyn, Red Hook, Brooklyn, and it's called Thought Forms. Originally, I opened a space in the late '90s. It was called Thought Forms as well, but it was Thought Forms Underground. And what we did there, we held monthly showcases that
Yeah,
was an exhibition and a sound stage and a recording studio. So we did a monthly showcase, and that became pretty popular. So back then, we were like one of the earlier companies that was putting shows on the internet, even though the broadband wasn't large enough for anyone to
yeah,
watch anything live. Um, but there was other companies like Sudo and UBO and so forth that we were like, you know, not in competition, but doing certain things in that vein. So, I stayed with the photography. I did sound design on the side and so forth. So, I knew one day that I wanted to open a new studio to get with the storytelling and content providing. And my mom, she did a show on back then it was called BCAT, but now it's Brick,
yeah.
and she did a show for about 30 years that was called Case
Oh, that's a friend
International.
of mine right there now. How'd you
Yeah,
get that shot right there?
yeah. Oh, heavy. I was doing a lot of work for Uptown Records, and eventually they called me in for the Heavy D job, and I was happy for that. But it took a lot of hanging out at the record company to be able to convince them to allow me to photograph the big dogs.
Man, I got
But
nothing but
that,
love for you.
listen, that was let me tell you, this brother was an amazing dude. He came to my studio at the time. It was in Bed-Stuy, Brooklyn, and he went and hung out with all the people that heard that he was in the neighborhood, and he took pictures with every single one of them, and they loved him, and he loved them back. He was a really good dude.
Yeah, I'm still in touch with his brother and his mom. In fact, they'll be there with me coming up at one of the galas that I'm going to be at.
Oh, okay, nice.
Yeah.
I'd love to give them a print one day if that's possible.
All right.
You know,
You know what? I'll talk to you right after and let you know where we're going to be.
oh, that'd be awesome.
Okay.
That'd be
Yeah.
awesome.
You
So,
have now. Your father took real estate photos. Did you get into that also?
no, my father he did insurance business,
Insurance.
so
Okay. All right.
that's how I got the camera. No, my getting into real estate photography was just a part of my what I call the tour of duty in photography. I've done almost every type of photography in my career. I'm a career photographer, not just I don't just photograph celebrities or whatever.
Yeah.
I've made my living as a photographer and supported my family that way. So sometimes you have to meander where the wind is blowing you, and I found a little company that allowed me to do some real estate photography for them, and it just took off ever since then. And I'm still, in fact, I just finished a real estate job a few minutes ago. Um, yeah, it's a thing that I think it has all led to adding to how I see. I think that's
Yeah.
the way to put it. Being able to have all these different types of training, has allowed me to be able to see things in a perspective that I wouldn't have before. The whole real estate, photography, it has a certain standard that you have to sort of uphold, and to be able to utilize the real estate perspective along with my portraiture and so forth has opened up a new dimension
Yeah.
for my vision.
You have something coming up, the rhythm, bass, and place through the lens of public exhibition.
Well, actually,
It's,
that was a previous exhibition, and that was
oh,
at
okay.
CADI.
Yeah.
That was at Caribbean Cultural Center of African Diaspora Institute,
Yeah.
and excuse me, Diaspora Institute. And I'm really thankful for that exhibition because it allowed me to bring out a lot of the images that I had for 20, 30 years and so forth, like, the Rakim and the, Biggie and, Mos Def and Talib and, all those types of, artists that, Mary J. And, you know, um, I'm probably skipping over Lady Pink and, well, that wasn't in that exhibition, but that allowed me to scan a lot of those negatives. And
Yeah.
then from there, that was taken and that was brought to Gracie Mansion.
Oh,
And
cool.
yeah, so the exhibition that we had, Rhythm, Bass, and Place at CADI, they saw that and they wanted to have our photos being shown at Gracie Mansion, and that was with fellow photographer Joe Conzo Jr. And so who's pretty well known for photography in the Bronx and hip
Yeah.
hop so forth. So he had like the earlier part of hip hop, then I had like the next segment of how hip hop joined in. Like you see a lot of Heavy D, like you looked at the Heavy D photos and Mary J and all those 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 images.
Well, listen, thank you for joining us, and you're always welcome to come back and show more. Because are you doing anything coming up?
Yes, there's an exhibition. I'm just looking at it right now in February that I'm doing. It's called Black Men Long Journey Forward,
Yeah.
and that is going to be at the Jennings Gallery on the Lower East Side. Wilmer Jennings Gallery on the Lower East Side,
Yeah.
and that should be good. It's going to be a group exhibition I'm doing with a bunch of photographers, including brother Jamel Shabazz and other photographers that are pretty well known for the images is the show is called Black Men Long Journey Forward.
Wow. Yeah. That should be a goodie, right?
I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah. You're going to show a lot of your work?
I have 3 pieces in that show, but these last couple of shows, the one at Gracie and the one in Cady, that was a 2-person show.
Yeah.
And I did a 1-person exhibition at a place called Brooklyn Maid Store, which was about images on workers.
Yeah.
I'm doing a whole book on of American workers, and that's about sort of where we are before this whole AI thing
Yeah.
takes over
And,
and changes jobs.
and I like the way you take pictures of people posing, but you also take a lot of off the cuff pictures, like people just doing different things. I like the one there's an electrician working on a lamp pole, and it
Hmm.
caught my attention because I used to plug into that as a DJ back in the day, change the fuses, and you know what I'm talking about.
I
But
do know
this
what you're
guy, you
talking.
caught him just messing with the spaghetti, messing with the wires, and putting stuff back in the pole.
Yeah, that's from a series called Life on the Clock, and I'm photographing what American or what work looks like now.
Yeah.
what work looks like will change in 10 to 15 years.
Yeah, yeah,
Um, because of robotics and AI and what, these are the jobs that I see these are the last jobs that we have, and some say that blue collar jobs will be actually the last ones to go. So, a lot of white collar jobs will be gone soon because of AI technology. So I
yeah.
had this strong interest in, photographing the world the way it is, just like how it looked different before the industrial revolution,
Right.
and technological revolution, and then now the AI revolution is going to make it look totally different. So,
Beautiful. Good for you,
thank,
man. I love your work. Thank you so much.
thank you
Um,
very much.
website, where can we go to find out more about
Yeah,
what
so
you're
my
doing?
website, www.mycphotographics,
Uh-huh.
PHOTOGRA, what is it, what that's, but graphics, APHICS.com.
And
So
we'll put it underneath you. Yeah,
yeah,
we'll post it up also. Yeah.
I'm messing up my own website
Yeah,
here.
no, we got you covered. We got you covered like a blanket.
Indeed, thank you.
Okay. We got to invite you out to one of the Make the Great Awards. We just had one. It was fantastic. It was at Terrace on the Park. We want to thank everybody for being a part of that. But we have a red
Mhm.
carpet and all that stuff, and we got to get you down on one of those to
I would love
experience
to.
that and shoot that. All right.
I would love.
We'll let
Thank
you
you.
know more. Malik Cumbo, photographer extraordinaire. Thank you for all that you do. Thank you for your work, man.
Thank you very much. Thank you for having me.
All right. We'll take a quick break right here. I've got more. We'll keep it right here on Open. Boom. Just like that.
30 years of BronxNet, 4 years of Modern Odyssey. Broadcasting stories that may inspire you, untold or underreported stories. On BronxNet, your story is heard. Thank you for your support. Thank you for watching Modern Odyssey on BronxNet.
And welcome back. There you go. Oh, you're looking good. How are you? How you feeling? I'm the Dr. Valv Lee, and our last guest is an Emmy Award-winning filmmaker and producer. Well, he sits down with us to speak about his passion for filmmaking and photography and so much more. So please welcome to the show, Frederick Taylor. Fred, how are you?
How are you, sir? It's a
All
pleasure to be
right.
here, as always.
Listen, I know you've been doing this for some time, but can you remind our audience of what your earliest memory of storytelling and creating was like?
It's really interesting. I come from a culture of storytelling as well. So my earliest memories of storytelling were stories that were told to me, specific to, my mother, my grandmother, my great grandmother's aunts and uncles and things like that. And they would just, tell these tales about the legacy of our family and who did what, where, when, and why, and all of the amazing people that have influenced everything around us as well. And then, of course, sort of, little life lessons as well, about how to live your life and be a better person. And that's kind of where it started. And I kind of caught on to that very early. I loved drawing pictures and painting, and I loved music, and I loved self-expression, and I loved writing
I
as, as,
hear
as
you.
well.
You love
Yeah.
writing.
So a lot of that initial storytelling that I got from my diaspora and my family
Uh-huh.
translated into me being a storyteller
Uh-huh.
moving forward life as well. So I tell it from a very uh, Afrocentric or tribal gaze as well. So I am uniquely myself inside of my own culture as I reach beyond my culture.
Yeah. So I don't know. How do you continue to innovate and remain inspired to create untold stories as a filmmaker producer?
You got to live. You gotta get out there. You gotta live. You gotta keep moving and meeting people and getting outside of your comfort zone as well, and going to other places and doing things that you thought you would never do. And you always run into and you discover new story. And for me, whether that's Africa, India, Asia, Eastern Europe, Latin America, someone always tells me something in those moments, in those spaces, that profoundly changes my life or opens me up to something else. And it's like living in the universe or the interstellar galaxy. You know, it goes on forever. You know,
Yeah.
there are
Forever,
planets and
ever?
solar systems forever, ever. Absolutely. What are you talking about? There's no end to this.
Yeah.
There's no end to truth. Truth is endless and boundless.
Yeah.
It is the lies and the deceit that have an expiration date. That's why you got to keep telling a new lie all the time to keep
Well,
it going.
I know. Keep it
Lies are
going. Keep
not.
it going. What do you aim to do every time you create content in relation to viewing our viewing audience?
Deeper and deeper connection inside of my own culture, and equally as much outside of my own culture. I like to say that there's a little bit of Black people and African in all of us,
Yeah.
and that is true. And I try to tap into that to help people to navigate the universe as well. So some of the most profound things that I've done recently in my life are literally outside of my own diaspora. I'm currently working on a project about the assimilation of the Burmese people from Myanmar into Atlanta as refugees and victims of war. And so what I
Yeah.
learned in filming in Africa is now applying to a film that I'm making about Southeast Asia. And so there are these connection points that are there that are fourth dimensional and that are beyond all of these surface issues that we fight about on a day-to-day basis. We truly are one whole species. We are one. We are humanity together. And it is what operates on the inside, or content of character, is truly what drives us.
Yeah.
you know and I really try to get that across to people, because so many people, they miss that, and they miss that because of the distractions and all of these
Yeah.
other things that they're being told, that they're too ugly, too tall, too short, too fat, not rich enough, their car's not good enough, they need a bigger house, you need to have like a pretty significant other, or all that other stuff as well,
Yeah.
when it really is, it's the little old church lady on the street corner sweeping her stoop
Huh.
that probably knows more about the universe than most of us.
Yeah. Yeah. We have a trailer. You want to bring it in for us?
Absolutely. This is a trailer for a film that I am currently taking around the country. It is called Where is America the Beautiful? It is relevant and profound to now. And it involves, once again, all people, all cultures, all over the world. But it really forces you to take a look at something and find something deep inside of yourself. Now, for some people that are still trying to work it out, they get a little anxious when they're watching it. For you, Dr. Bob, it will bring a smile to your face and you will pump your fist in the air. But for those that we are still teaching, they're on the learning curve. So that's what this film is for. It's for people that are still trying to find their way back to what is America really all about. And it's all about being about all of us.
All right, let's take a look.
Đi riêng hả? Tụi em đi riêng, tụi em lái xe tụi em đi riêng. We love Trump. We love Trump. We love Trump.
Well, I was listening, had the television on, listening, trying to find out what happened to President Kennedy when he came in.
My name is Fountain Hughes. I was born in Charlottesville, Virginia. My grandfather belonged to Thomas Jefferson. My grandfather was 115 years old when he died. And now I am 101 years old.
And I realized that being in a minority and having people discriminate against you was so wrong.
And I won everything but Georgia, and I won Georgia, I know that, by a lot, and the people know it, and, something happened, something bad happened.
Where is everybody? Huh? Huh? You got it. Where is Kamala? Where is Kamala?
Esto es increíble que esto le está pasando al pueblo americano.
I just let you know, man, it was a peaceful protest. We were sitting there.
It's a face on it, and you cannot run away from it.
We have so much to say in this world, and every voice is needed. It doesn't matter how many people are following you.
Do you know what this wonderful country is made of? It's made up of 100 different kind of people, and 100 different ways of talking, and 100 different ways of going to church. But they're all American ways. Wouldn't we be silly if we went around hating people because they comb their hair different than ours? Wouldn't we be a lot of dopes?
The opposite of courage in our society is not cowardice, it is conformity.
The Nazis were just following orders just like you guys.
In the election of 1860, Abraham Lincoln said the question was whether this nation could exist, half slave or half free.
Frederick, all I can say is, wow. Wow. Pretty deep, huh? Where is America? Where is America the Beautiful?
It's so funny. It's like the Wizard of Oz. Dorothy had the red ruby slippers on the entire time, and she could go home to Kansas anytime that she wanted to. But the purpose was that she needed to walk the journey first to be able to understand that America is right here in front of us. You know what America is? America is when you walk to that deli down the street that you've been going to for years, and you talk to the people that are in there, and they know you, you know them, they know what you like, what you want. They're happy to see it. Everybody's glowing, and you're talking to people from all different walks of life and backgrounds, and we're all sons and daughters of people that have come from other places, and that vibe that so many of us like to say or use. When we're all vibing together, we are Americans. Yeah. That's when you know you're in America, is when everybody's cool with everybody. That's what makes it special. And, we just get away from that so much because of this sort of, autocratic society, theocracy and commercialism and capitalism and all of these other things that divert us from the genesis of who we are. Yeah. A group of people that really like each other and appreciate what we all bring to the table. People love all kinds of music, in particular, African American and Latino music. I mean, those two groups have influenced music all over the world. Yeah. It's the foundation of most modern music, and people celebrate that. And it's like, if we can bring that type of attitude into our everyday life, we're going to be far better off moving forward. And it's right. And like I said, it's right there in front of us. We see it every day. We just have to move towards it rather than away from it.
Yeah. What have you learned in traveling around the world, shooting these different pieces?
That everything that I needed to know about life was taught to me by my grandmother. Everything that I needed to know about life, I learned on the schoolyard. Mm-hmm. It's all there. It's always been there. And that there's a universalness to our culture when you are talking to a young person that's living in East Africa is no different than talking to a young person that's standing on the corner on a city block or out in a rural area. I've been in places where young kids of all different shapes, sizes, and colors will rapture themselves around me and follow me around and want me to talk to them and interact with them and tell them stories and be there as a mentor. And the thing that I've learned in going around the world is that we are here to play it forward. We do something for someone else, and someone will eventually do something for us. It's always about the give, it's not about the get. And that is universal, and that has been in every place I've been, and I've been to every continent except the Arctic poles. And I would imagine that if I was in the North Pole talking to an Eskimo, they would be the same way.
Yeah.
What can I do for you? Can I get you something? That's what we're really all about. That's the truth of humanity. It's not taking, it's giving. Because we give, and eventually someone will give something to us and help us out.
I think it's a circle of love. You get by giving. It's one of the paradoxes of life. Yeah.
Absolutely.
So you
absolutely,
give,
and
it comes right back around to you.
Yes, sir, without question. And so I just really try to focus on that, in spite of all of the messages that I'm told every day, pounding me in the head. But then there are platforms like yours where you're running counter to that. And you're saying, no, that's not what we are about as a media outlet. We are one that is trying to bring people together.
Yeah. Listen, we can find more about what you're doing on your website, right? What is that?
The website is tomorrowpictures.com, TOMORROWPICTURES. And then my artist website is Frederick, FR3DER, the 1CK. FR3D. FR3DER1CK, I believe it's up there right now. You can also Google that, and that will give you everything I've ever done in my career and background and articles and podcasts. And you pop up there too. And every time I'm on here, it pops up as well. And the last thing, it ended up in the National Archives as well.
Hey, man, we love you. Thank you so much, Frederick. Thank you for sharing everything, right? Frederick Taylor, filmmaker, producer. We appreciate you, man. Continue kicking out that good work. Unfortunately, that's all the time we have for today's show. But wait, before we go, we're excited to invite you to be a part of a special moment that allows us to continue bringing value, very valuable programming to you and support, that you can be a part of. You can make a real difference and an impact by providing access to production studios, tech equipment, professional development for our youth and adults. So let's build a brighter future together. Donate now to help make the Bronx a better place for all by visiting bronxnet.org. Donate, and I want to thank you and thank our guests for tuning in and checking it all out. We appreciate you, we love you, and thank you. Thank you for letting us share in this space and time with you. And always remember, what you are is God's gift to you. What you make of yourself is your gift to God. So choose your choice and let your choice control the chooser. I'm the Dr. Bob Lee, and I'll see you over 107.5 WVLS. We love you all.